Wait, don't need to wait much longer. The game has just started. The game is going to be. Yeah,
Nomad.
I wanted to say Nomad.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I know why. Because he's got no chance of out micro Viper in a game like Regicide Fortress or any water map where you need to be on point with a micro. Nomad seems to be the only chance to try to outsmart Viper here. Let's try to understand where are the players running. A little bit of a sheep fight right here. The Viper seems to be giving away a couple of unnecessary sheep. BacT having one villager idle. Not quite ideal. They need to avoid the villager fights, of course. The town center is being dropped right here by the Viper. BacT not too far away. Let's see if Viper could see this. Yeah, Viper knows exactly where BacT is dropped STC. What about BacT? BacT on the dark.
He has a mill start. Look at this. 3 villagers are building a town center, and look at the right-hand side, in the middle. He has already 3 villagers getting
mill start here from BacT. What do you think about this?
Well, you only do this if your villagers are very far from each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. So obviously, shellfish is the fastest food you can get. So this food income will be huge at the start. But still, you don't have those villagers together.
And the town center will go up later, of course, right? Because only building up with 3 villagers.
Yeah, but you will build you will be able to build the first villager.
Yeah, fair enough, because you will have, indeed, you will have the food income, right?
Yeah.
There we go, first Boar for the Viper. I guess would be nice to see what are the resources distributed. BacT, does he have anything good on his side? He's got a couple of sheep. No boars as far as I can see. He's got a couple of deer right here. He can see those, so at some point he might be trying to get those. Let's take a look at what Viper can and cannot see. Viper can see those 2 boars right there on the right side, I would assume. No dock so far for the players, of course. They still need a whole lot of wood in order to get that dock down. And considering that BacT went for a mill, dock for BacT, is it still thinkable? Is it still a nice idea?
Well, he needs to build one in this game, but
at what point would it be advisable?
Well, you kind of want to have a constant food production, so he has to plan like 3 villagers on sheep, exactly. 3 on shellfish, 3 on sheep, that's reasonable. And then everything on wood. Send a villager like next villager comes out, should be building a dock, I think. So he will be later like a minute, but it's still reasonable.
Well, let's take a look at Viper, the first one to build the dock, not surprisingly. Right here at quite a nice spot, I feel like. He's got so much deep fish right here, very close to it. Nice start for the Viper as far as I can see. Looks like he's getting a little bit of idle TC time. The population a little bit lower than BacT, only 1 villager behind. He's got loom already. What about BacT? Let's take a look. BacT indeed chose not to do loom, so that explains the villager advantage at this point. Just as Nilpford pointed out before, he was able to have the food right at the moment when he completed his TC, and maybe that will be fine for him. He just found 3 boars right here on the left side. I did miss this, so looks like BacT is in a nice spot himself, and he is building a dock as well.
Exactly. He's a bit low on the dock, so the Viper will catch up. He will have a fishing ship more, and with the moment BacT will do a loom, he will catch up. So I think they're on even villagers now.
Quite even indeed. Viper will have more fishing ships, at least at the very start. He's got the dock first, of course.
And both docks will be great. So having the water is super important here.
And both docks on the same side of the map, so to speak. Right to here, sort of the south-left side of the map. The opening, the upper water will be completely free. To be fair, quite expected because there's not much fish right there to fight for.
You kind of want to build your dock as far away from the end of the map as you can, because you know there's no water at the end of the map. So if there is like water in the middle, just use it. There will be always good fish.
Second boar on the way for BacT. Quite well, could have been a little bit later. That boar seal has got 20 food roughly. Let's take a look at the resources from both players. Viper still quite a fair bit far away from clicking. Same thing from BacT. We'll take a look at their explorations. BacT with quite a lot of map explored at this point. Viper as well. Does BacT? Yep, only bad thing for BacT here. He still does not know where the Viper is. I guess he could guess that he would be somewhere around here. But Viper did know right from the start where BacT is. A little bit of a pause once more. Hopefully the games are going to continue. Yeah, this is the good
There's the
thing.
pause.
I turned my eyes just a little bit further up and I can see the game paused, unpaused. So good news for you. We're just about to restart. Continue. And speaking of restarts, no player has called the restart so far. Do you feel like BacT should have called the restart when he saw that Viper was stealing 2 boars?
Yeah, absolutely.
You would have
Absolutely.
called the
Going
restart
back
there, yeah.
That's why I wasn't even really hyping it, because it's like a boar steal, which only, forcing the restart. And that's sweet as well, obviously. But it will not win you the game. But he didn't call the restart, so it won him the game.
Sort of, I don't know. He maybe was just thinking, there's no way this guy is going to pull this off. This has never happened before, or rarely ever happened before, so there's no way he's going to pull it off. I'm not going to waste my restart on this. Or he was thinking that he was going to go for a nomad anyway on the home map. He wanted to save that restart for the nomad. We will never know. But,
yeah, maybe he thought that the Eagle Warrior only had 15 HP, but he arrived after he ran through all the map, even with the big force, he arrived with 12 HP.
That was
but let's get back into this game, please. It's
Okay.
epic, and we will talk about it later,
yeah,
especially with the
really
players.
hard not
And
to talk about it,
yeah.
but let's keep concentrating on the game. Viper is going to be the first one to get the feudal age. BacT is going to be following close behind with a lot more villagers, to be fair. 4 of them more. He will be going now to feudal age at roughly the same time, going on gold. Let's take a look. What do you think are going to be the strategies here? Going fast castle does not seem to be a possibility at this point.
well, the fish is good, but obviously it seems like the villager distribution just changed, because there will be a tower rush by BacT. It seems like archers, galleys, and a lot of towers. So that's obvious by BacT, and let's take a look at the Viper.
BacT going for a tower rush, only waiting to get to feudal age. 80% by now. What is Viper going to try and do here? Let's switch into his point of view. So far, no military buildings as far as I can see. Not here. He went there.
Ship. He's adding 2 fishing ship and building 2 galleys.
Let's take a look at that. Indeed, a galley right here from the left dock, the one that is really close to BacT. He indeed got 1 galley out already. He's trying to annoy BacT on his fish economy. He will try to get a kill right there as fast as possible. More galleys on the way. What about BacT? Looks like the towers were only for his own defense, as far as I can see at least.
You don't need 5 villages on stone to have defensive towers, do you?
Let's try to understand. He still does not know where the Viper
But
is.
he has very good resources, so the towers will bring him to Castle Age.
My guess is he's scouted so much right here on the upper side of the map. He will be having a very good idea where Viper could be, even though he's not quite sure yet where exactly his TC is.
Yeah, absolutely not. And losing all the fishing ship, I told you, water is very important on this map, because the fish is so good, and the amount of fishing ship, it's 9-3 now, and it will be effectively it's 9-0.
Favoring Viper indeed. Very nice advantage so far. BacT close to click up to Castle H, but something I don't like for him. He was trying to go for a fast castle. Will have no food income. I see no farms whatsoever. And the fish are as good as dead.
Oh, he sold wood.
But what do you think about this? His fish is good as dead. He's got no farms. He's not taking any deer.
Well, he will get up castle earlier, so he will have fire ships earlier, and he will have an early castle. Oh, and a sneaky villager.
Sneaky villager right here. Let's see if that is going to work out for him. Those things I feel like are a lot more effective when you've got a teammate that can sling you.
Yeah.
This is a 1v1. No sling will be taking place.
Yeah, ask Brazil A about
Yeah,
it.
do ask Brazil A about it. Indeed, I see what you did there, sir.
Yeah. The villager is there to build a dock and to sneak fire ships from
Try
behind.
to sneak. Okay, I understand. And indeed, looks like that could be a very nice option for him. The fish right here seems to be as good as dead. 2 fishing boats are still left. They will die at some point soon, I feel like. A little bit of a tower rush here, indeed. Not quite a tower rush, but more of a... just tower and counter tower. BacT was the first one to drop his. now realizes that Viper's got enough range to annoy his villagers. Needs to go back with those. He's got 550 stone. Maybe after getting to Castle H, he will try to drop a castle somewhere and make himself short.
Yeah, he will drop a castle.
A Viper running in here at the worst possible spot. Standing right next to the TC, just lost 2 archers like that.
BacT won't be able, by the way, great castle time by BacT. 1822 on the
On
moment.
Nomad, quite impressive indeed.
BacT won't have a good spot to drop his castle. Like you were so much earlier, there's no aggression by him. If he had like 2 offensive towers, he could have built a great castle, but it seems to be like there will be a very defensive one.
Yep, castle as defensive as it gets. Considering that Viper will be raiding the backside of his woods, sort of have to wonder if it wouldn't have been better to just place a castle right here on the top of that hill. What do you think, Neely? Maybe it would be sort of protecting the wood line right now. The castle's going to be up, but it's not really protecting anything, is it?
He will build 2 canoes and will clear this easily. The most important thing at the moment is that he's building 2 fire ships and wants to clear up all the fishing ships.
Let's
of the Viper.
take a look at that. 1 fire ship from here, 1 right here from the right side. Nice spot right there by 2K5 commentator Neilford.
Oh,
He's going to now you're always 2K5, sir. I just keep changing the numbers.
Okay.
And he's going to be chasing away those galleys, no problem whatsoever. For him, Viper does not have a counter to this at this point. He's on roughly 50% castle age. Looks like he needs to run a little bit back with those firing ships. And maybe Viper's got just enough galleys to fight this off.
Well, yeah, BacT kind of didn't look and he just right-clicked on the bottom of the map instead of actually what you want to do with fire ships, patrolling into the fishing ship.
Yeah, so
And
Viper.
now the Viper will build fire ships on it.
Yeah, Viper on roughly 80% castle age, more like 90 by now. He was able to save 2 of those. BacT was able to save 2 of those fishing boats. Viper seems to be quite enough when it comes to fishing boats. He's got 10 against only 2 from BacT. BacT going to try and snipe a couple more fishing boats right here. Maybe he could get 1 or 2. Viper is looking at this. He might be able to snipe the low HP one.
Oh, but great anticipation by...
Nice job there by BacT, right?
And the Viper is even building war galleys.
War galleys, indeed. He wants to make sure he's got the full control of the water. On land, as far as I can see, nothing big is happening. This villager is a little bit idle right there. Guess he could just be making a couple of houses, doing something.
Well, maybe a sneaky siege workshop, but it's not very effective right now. So he needs to have more army. The Choconews have to be somewhere, and then maybe a surprise mangonel.
Let's see if that is going to be effective. Viper seems to have canceled the War Galley upgrade, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't see a War Galley being researched anymore.
Yes, I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, looks like he felt like those 4 galleys, 5 galleys, or even 6 are going to be enough to tackle those fire ships for BacT. BacT on 3 Choconews, just as you said before. Looks like he was trying to get a couple of kills right here on the wood line of the Viper. Didn't quite have the range as far as I can see.
Yeah, not having +2 did hurt a lot there. And the Viper even building more docks and getting
more docks.
all out of
There's
this
so
water.
much fish around here, right? He's gonna have such a strong boom.
Yeah, I'd love to see BacT building more.
Yeah, look at this micro pulling back the right galleys. It's going to be
Oh, and he did build 2 extra fire
2 more
ships.
fire ships here by
Very
BacT.
low.
A couple of them on very low HP. The only one that could still do anything meaningful would be this one, and this is something you don't see every day. Fire ships running away from simple galleys, really only with the Viper. You can see this. There he goes. Fire ship is down. Second one could be on the way.
Yeah, that wasn't actually too good for Viper, because BacT is now on the side where the fishing ships are.
I guess let's try to understand what is happening here on the land. Still not much action. We can take a look at the economies. Viper on 2 TCs. I can hear something being attacked. Can't quite tell where it's coming from. Yeah, right there. There's a couple of Choconews, but Viper on 2 TCs. I wanted to check that. BacT on 2 as well. Villager number is not that different. Actually, BacT even's got the advantage, but I guess we can count fishing ships as actual villagers as well.
Yeah, at this point, absolutely, because the fish is still so good, and it will be for like at least 5 to 6 more minutes. Looking at the stone, you can see the Viper is close to having first castle, and if you switch into the view of BacT, you will see he is close to having the
To have a
castle
second
already.
one, maybe he could choose to go a little bit more aggressive with that second one. Maybe that could be a nice option here by the Viper. Viper trying to chase away. We see demo ship coming
And those
into
are
play
Chinese demo
here.
ships as
Yeah,
well.
those could be really destructive. Trying to find one of those. No, doesn't get a hit right there. Viper himself has got one.
Oh.
Makes a 1-for-1 trade. A nice job here by the Viper as well. BacT has got quite a nice amount of map, I have to say. So if he actually manages to keep himself on the game without losing too much economy, he might still be able to hold on to this game for a little longer.
Yeah, now BacT is pushing on the land, and he's building a second castle now, but can't build a good second castle. He will only control this wood,
Yeah, and Viper
which he
saw
can
this
kind
straight
of
away.
controlled before.
Yeah.
So the Viper will just stonewall at the bottom, and will build a castle right here next to the siege workshop.
Yeah, very nice spot. Once more, wants to make sure that even if BacT breaks free from here and gets inside, that castle will make things a lot easier for the Viper. We will probably see a couple of walls right here to make sure, even though he probably does not need many walls. He's got villages right there, so that is not going to be a big thing. And the Viper manages to click to Imperial Age before minute 30.
Yeah, he sold all his stone, bought food, and having a lot of fishing ships, he didn't need to buy too much food.
I guess this tower is a little bit useless, in my opinion. I think I understand why he's doing it. He wants to avoid Viper from walling behind. Viper is not interested in walling behind.
Yeah, why should he? He has a castle, he has mangonels.
And sorry
this-
to tell you, BacT, that is not going to work, sir. You actually need to fully go back with those Shuko News, not just lose everything to a castle. Yeah, he did
man.
lose like 3 or 4, 5 on the way.
5.
Oh my god. Nothing is going well for BacT at this point in game. Taking a look at his economy, does not seem to be too far away from Imperial Age. He's only on 2 TCs while Viper on 3 at this point. He still was able to actually chase a couple of fishing boats right here on the south side of the map on the water, but it's still Viper with 10 and BacT with 0.
Yeah, and this obviously gives you such a huge advantage. Now he has 2 castles up, soon to be Imperial Age, and he will simply trap those 2 castles away. And I don't see how BacT is ever able to defend
I
that.
sort of feel like when Viper gets to Imperial Age, BacT will not want
Third
to
castle.
keep this game going for a lot longer. He will realize that Viper can just easily trip down those castles, and without castles, BacT will be quite lost. The only army he was doing was Shuko News. Shuko News are produced from castles. Let's see what will happen
Yeah,
here.
I think we got a countdown for the GG.
Well, let's see. Nope, BacT wants to hold on for a little bit longer. He still feels like he's got a chance. He's not too far behind. Well, he still didn't even click, but not too far behind. Viper will be doing a couple of trebuchets, I feel like. 1 on the way. Maybe a second from here as well. 2 on the way. Needs to be careful with those Chukonus. Don't lose them to just castle fire. Another one's going to go down. But a Viper with a full control of the game at this point. Nilford.
Yeah, he has less wills actually, because BacT did quite a good boom back, and the Viper had to pull the villagers back a lot, and now has a lot on stone, so his eco isn't the greatest, but he is in Imperial Age. He's soon to have a forced castle.
And he's gonna get many trebuchets here. BacT won't be able to save this castle for sure. And even though he just pointed out BacT's got more villagers, that difference is decreasing, as you can see. And Viper's got 11 fish. And BacT is down, so I sort of feel like that advantage on the villagers is not as significant as it could be on a land map.
Yeah, and even if BacT had 20 villagers more, what units is he building?
Yep, he's not making any units.
Chukanus is the
Yep.
strongest unit in the game.
But
and
you
he
won't
will
have
soon
many castles. Yeah, you won't have many castles trying to drop a second siege workshop right here. Viper says, no, sir. Maybe the mangonel hit could help him a little bit. It was a nice shot. Unfortunately for BacT, didn't manage to get a single kill from that shot. But maybe now Viper once more being a little bit careless with the Chukonus. Just lost like 3 or 4 to castle fire. But then again, that castle won't stand for much longer. Trebuchets on the way from the Viper.
Yeah, the Chukanus having 45 HP gives them the the possibility to survive a mangonel
Yeah,
shot.
just enough HP to survive a mangonel shot.
But that won't be for too long because I think BacT will go into onager defense. He can't do anything. He will not get into chickenoos. He will not get into traps. So I think he will go into like skirms,
And
onagers.
another castle right here from the Viper. Too many castles, too many trebuchets. There's no chance for BacT to come back from this. The first 2-0 in this tournament. And a scaringly good performance by the Viper, showing his full confidence and showing that he does not see anyone stopping him at this point.
No, neither do. Actually, no. Let's not go into the winners finals. Let's stay on this game. But I got a little wet when I thought about the winners final.
Yeah, let's keep that thought for yourself for now. More villagers, more units killed, more army. There's not really much point in taking a look at the achievements at this point. It's just an incredibly strong performance by the Viper. Let's fix the score. It's 2-0. The series is done. BacT will need to move to the losers brackets, and that means next match is going to be the Viper against Riot.
Yeah, absolutely.